Hello everyone, I'm Sarah of Rich Textures Crochet and welcome. Today we're going to learn how to crochet this very simple, very easy dish scrubby. It features the Stitch, Soak, and Scrub nylon yarn on the front, so it gives you a bit of a scratchy surface. And then on the back, it's worked in just a plain cotton yarn to give it a little bit of absorbency and a softer side on the other side. So this easy disc scrubby is going to be worked using two different types of yarn. I'm just working with the Pima Cotton by Lion Brand. It's a soft worsted weight 100% cotton yarn, as well as the Stitch, Soak, and Scrub yarn by Lion Brand. And as you can see, this is a nylon yarn. It looks like it features these little chains all the way throughout, and it just makes great scrubby surface on the other side. You're only going to need about 25, maybe 20 yards of each of these yarn options. If you would like, you can optionally work both sides in the scrub yarn if you would like to give it a little bit of an extra scrubby texture. Today I am going to work one side in the scrub yarn and one side in the cotton yarn. You're also going to need a 5mm or an H8 crochet hook, as well as the free written instructions, which are on richtexturescrochet.com, and that's linked directly in the description of this video. So thank you so much for joining me. While you're here, I invite you to take a look around. Don't forget to subscribe. Say hello down in the comments. This channel is updated every single week with free crochet patterns and stitch tutorials, and there's lots of other crochet scrubby and washcloth patterns featured here on my channel. Do be sure to check them out. Now our tutorial today is worked in rounds. You're going to work the pattern once in your cotton yarn and then once in your scrub yarn, and then you join the two pieces together. Today I'm going to start by working in the cotton yarn just because it's easier to see as you're learning the pattern. You're going to start by making a slip knot and then by chaining 2. You're then going to work 12 half double crochet stitches into the second chain from your hook. If you wish, you may use a magic ring here and then work your 12 half double crochets into it. I'm going to work them all into my second chain, so work 12 half double crochet stitches. You're then going to join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. Your chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so you're joining into the top of your half double crochet. You're then going to chain 1. For round 2, beginning with the same stitches joining, you're going to work 2 half double crochet stitches into each stitch all the way around. At the end of round 2, you will have a total of 24 stitches. At the end of round 2, join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch and chain 1. Now for round 3, we're going to work a half double crochet into our first stitch, followed by 2 half double crochets into the next. You're going to repeat that all the way around, half double crochet into the next stitch, and 2 half double crochets into your next stitch, all the way around until you come to your first stitch. At the end of round 3, you're going to have a total of 36 stitches. You can join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. Now for round 4, we're going to chain 1 and work a half double crochet into each of the first 2 stitches. You're then going to work 2 half double crochets into your next stitch. Repeat that all the way around, half double crochet into your next stitch, followed by 2 half double crochets into your next. Half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, and 2 half double crochets into your next stitch, all the way around. At the end of your round 4, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch, and you'll have a total of 48 stitches. You can then at that time fasten off, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this yarn attached on my cotton side and just set it aside. You're then going to repeat your rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4 working with the scrub yarn. So I'm not going to work all of it in the scrub yarn here. I'll just work the first little bit so you can see how it is working up. I did find it quite challenging to see here on the camera just because these chains are so fine and it's fairly translucent and light. So you're going to start again by chaining 2, and then into that second chain from your hook you're going to work 12 half double crochet stitches into the second chain from your hook. And there's my 12th. You can see it is very challenging to see. You're then going to join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch and chain 1. Then your round 2 was your 2 half double crochet stitches into each stitch all the way around, and then so forth. Repeat rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4, all working into this scrub yarn. Once you have rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4 worked into your scrub yarn, you can meet me back here. We're going to join our 2 sides together. Once you have repeated through to round 4 using the scrub yarn, you're going to completely fasten that off. Now, if you would like, if you're finding that you have a large hole here in the middle of your scrubby, you can just quickly go ahead, take the tail that was in the center of your scrubby, and then just weave it through all the way around the opening, and you can use that to kind of pull it a little bit tighter, to pull it closed a little bit more. You're then going to want to fasten off this tail and weave in your ends. So here I'm just pulling it a little bit tighter. I'm going to just tie a small knot here on the inside to keep it from pulling apart again. The scrub yarn is quite stretchy, which is nice. And then I'm going to tuck in the end on this back side. You can go ahead and do that as well with the cotton side. It's easier to do it before you join the two of them together, I find. So just go ahead. Pull that yarn through your center. And just use it to pull the center closed a little bit tighter if you would like. And then tuck in your end. You're then going to take your scrubby and you're going to take your two wrong sides, and I'm just noticing here I have one more tail. I want to tuck in that tail from the scrub yarn as well. My cotton yarn is still attached to the ball of yarn because I'm going to use that to finish it off. So I'm just going to tuck in the scrub tail up at the top. There we go. You're then going to take your two scrubbies and you're going to place the wrong sides together. Then taking your cotton yarn, you'll notice it's a little bit larger than your scrub yarn. That's okay. Taking your cotton yarn, you're going to pick up where you left off and chain one. Then place it over top of your scrub yarn, and I found it easier to turn it so that my scrubby side is facing me, and you're going to insert your hook through one of the stitches on your scrub yarn and then insert your hook into the same stitches joining on your cotton yarn, and you're going to work a single crochet through each stitch all the way around. So single crochet through the tops of each stitch all the way around. Both your scrub, even though it's kind of pulled together, and the cotton will have the same number of stitches. The scrub yarn does have a little bit of stretch to it, which is why it pulls together here, but both will have the same number of stitches. You don't want to skip any stitches all the way around. Just simply work a single crochet into each stitch all the way around until you come to the first stitch, and you're working through both thicknesses all the way around. Once you come all the way around, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of that first stitch. You can then go ahead and fasten off. At that time, you're going to weave in your ends. Trim any tails that you might have, and that is all there is to working your disc scrubby. So thank you so much for joining me once again. Don't forget to subscribe. If you happen to make one of these disc scrubbies and share it on social media, do be sure to tag Rich Textures Crochet. I always love to come by and admire your work. So until next time, happy crocheting. Bye.